The Galactic Council had existed for 12,000 years. It was a collection of 47 species, each one ancient and proud. They had built empires across the stars. They had discovered faster-than-light travel. They had mastered energy shields, plasma weapons, and gravity manipulation. To them, the universe was understood. There were no more surprises left. Then humanity arrived. The first contact happened in the year 2247, when a small human exploration vessel named the Wanderer entered space. They were a reptilian species with 4 arms and cold yellow eyes. They had been members of the Council for 6,000 years. When they detected the primitive human ship, they laughed among themselves. The vessel was slow. It used chemical propulsion with basic fusion reactors. Its weapons appeared to be simple projectile launchers. The commander, Admiral, decided to teach these newcomers a lesson about their place in the galaxy. He sent 3 warships to intercept the Wanderer. Captain stood on the bridge of her ship. She watched the alien vessels approach on her screens. Her crew was nervous. They had never seen alien life before. Now 3 massive warships were surrounding them. Each one was 5 times the size of the Wanderer. They hailed them. Admiral's face appeared on screen. He spoke through a translation device. "Primitive species," he said, "you have entered sovereign space. You will surrender your vessel and submit to inspection. Resist and you will be destroyed." Looked at her crew, then she looked back at the alien admiral. "We come in peace," she said calmly. "We are explorers from Earth. We mean no harm to anyone, but we will not surrender our ship." His eyes narrowed. No species had ever refused a demand. These creatures were either brave or stupid. He decided they were stupid. "You have 10 seconds to comply," he warned. Nodded to her weapons officer. "Charge the..." The sensors detected a power surge on the human ship. They registered it as minimal. Their shields could absorb plasma blasts from capital ships. Whatever primitive weapon these humans had, it would be meaningless. Gave the order, "Fire." The launched a tungsten slug at 15% of the speed of light. It crossed the distance between ships in less than a heartbeat. The projectile hit the lead warship directly in the center. There was no explosion. There was no flash of energy. The slug simply punched through the ship like a needle through paper. It entered through the front and exited through the back, leaving a hole 3 meters wide. The warship's reactor went critical. The vessel exploded in a ball of fire. Admiral stared at his screens in complete disbelief. His flagship was heavily shielded. It was designed to withstand the most powerful weapons in the galaxy, and it had been destroyed by a single shot from a vessel that looked like it belonged in a museum. The second ship tried to retreat. Its crew fired again. The tungsten slug tore through the engine section. The ship went dark and began to drift. Ordered his remaining vessel to flee at maximum speed. He did not look back. News of the encounter spread across the galaxy like fire. The Council convened an emergency session. 47 species sent their ambassadors to discuss the human threat. They demanded immediate action. They wanted the humans destroyed before they could spread further. But the Council was cautious. They sent a diplomatic envoy to Earth. They wanted to understand these strange creatures before making any decisions. Ambassador of the species was chosen for the mission. They were tall and thin, with silver skin and large black eyes. They were known for their wisdom and patience. Traveled to Earth with a small fleet. He expected to find a primitive world filled with warlike savages. What he found shocked him. Earth was beautiful. It was covered in blue oceans and green forests. The humans had built magnificent cities that touched the clouds. They had art and music and literature. They laughed and loved and dreamed. They were not monsters. They were simply young. Met with the human leaders. He learned that humanity had only achieved space travel 150 years ago. They had no knowledge of the Council or its laws. They had developed their technology independently, following their own path. Their weapons were designed for a simple reason: Kinetic energy was efficient. Why waste power on fancy plasma when a fast-moving piece of metal could do the same job better? The humans called their weapons. They used electromagnetic force to accelerate projectiles to incredible speeds. No shield in the galaxy was designed to stop a solid object moving at a fraction of the speed of light. The Council's shields were built to absorb energy. They were useless against kinetic impact. Returned to the Council with his report. He recommended peaceful integration. The humans were young but clever. They could be valuable allies. Many species agreed with him, but they and their supporters wanted revenge. A faction within the Council began plotting against humanity. They gathered a massive fleet in secret, 50 warships from 12 different species. They planned to attack Earth directly and end the human threat forever. Earth sensors detected the fleet when it entered the solar system. The humans had only 20 ships to defend their world. They were outnumbered and the Council fleet had upgraded their shields with kinetic dampeners. They had studied human weapons and developed countermeasures. Admiral James commanded Earth's defense fleet. He was an old man with gray hair and steady hands. He had fought in 3 colonial wars. He had never lost a battle. But this was different. This was extinction. The Council fleet attacked without warning. Plasma beams lit up the darkness of space. Human ships returned fire with the new shields on the Council vessels absorbed some of the impacts. They did not stop them completely, but they reduced the damage. The battle became a grinding war of attrition. Human ships began to fall. The Beijing was destroyed by concentrated fire. The Mumbai took heavy damage. The Lagos was boarded by soldiers. One by one, Earth's defenders were being eliminated. Admiral received a message from Earth. It was from Dr. Sarah, the head of humanity's most secret research project. She told him to hold the line for 15 more minutes. Help was coming. Did not understand. There were no reinforcements. Every human ship was already engaged, but he trusted Doctor. He ordered his remaining vessels to fight with everything they had. The 15 minutes felt like 15 hours. 3 more human ships were lost. The Council fleet pushed closer to Earth. They were within range of orbital bombardment. Victory was moments away. Then something impossible happened. A new human ship appeared in the middle of the Council fleet. It did not fly in from anywhere. It simply materialized out of nothing. One moment there was empty space. The next moment there was a vessel. Then another appeared, and another, and another. 30 human ships blinked into existence around the Council fleet. They appeared inside the enemy formation. They're already charged and aimed. The Council commanders panicked. This was not possible. Faster-than-light travel required jump drives. Jump drives needed coordinates and calculations. They could not be used for precision placement in the middle of a battle. Nothing could do what these humans had just done. Nothing except teleportation. The new human ships opened fire. They were inside the Council formation, too close for effective countermeasures. Slugs tore through vessel after vessel. The Council fleet tried to regroup, but the human ships kept appearing and disappearing. They would fire, vanish, and reappear somewhere else. It was chaos. The battle lasted 8 minutes. When it was over, 43 Council ships had been destroyed or disabled. The remaining 7 fled in terror. Not a single human ship from the reinforcement fleet was lost. The galaxy had no words for what had happened. Dr. Sarah addressed the Council 3 days later. She explained that humanity had discovered teleportation technology 5 years ago. They had kept it secret because they did not trust the galaxy. They were right not to trust. The Council members listened in stunned silence. Teleportation was theoretically possible. Their scientists had calculated the equations, but the energy requirements were astronomical. The precision needed was beyond any computer. It should have taken thousands of years to develop. Doctor smiled. She told them that humans did things differently. When they wanted something, they did not wait. They found a way. The ambassador demanded to know how it worked. Doctor refused to answer. She said that humanity would share its technology only with friends. They were not friends. The council was forced to negotiate. They had no choice. Humanity now possessed the most advanced transportation technology in the galaxy. They could appear anywhere at any time. No world was safe from them. No fleet could catch them. But humanity did not want war. They wanted peace. They wanted trade. They wanted to join the galactic community as equals, not as servants or conquerors. The council agreed to their terms. 10 years later, humanity held 3 seats on the council. Their ships traveled freely through the galaxy. Their technology was shared with species that proved themselves trustworthy. They were not among them. Ambassador, formerly captain of the Wanderer, addressed the council on the anniversary of first contact. She spoke about hope and cooperation and the future. The assembled representatives listened with respect. Some of them had once laughed at her primitive ship. Nobody was laughing now. Admiral watched the broadcast from his retirement home on Prime. He was old and tired. His people had lost their position of dominance. Their pride was broken. He thought about that day in space, when he had given a small human ship 10 seconds to surrender. He thought about the warning he had ignored. He thought about the lessons his people had failed to learn. Humanity was young. Humanity was strange. Humanity did not follow the rules. And that, finally understood, was exactly what made them dangerous. The galaxy would never be the same.